Podcasts are hot right now. How do I know? Well, you're listening to one right now, aren't you? But you might be wondering, how on earth do I get my voice out there and start my own podcast? It all seems so intimidating. Between hosting and platforms and monetization, it can get real complicated real quick. Well, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. We started this podcast over 2 years ago, not knowing clue one on how to do it. So how do we do it? We did it with Anchor. Anchor is the free podcast app with creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. And Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on all the platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. And everybody likes money, right? Well, you can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So go right now, download the free Anchor app, or go to Anchor FM to get started. It's the E-Commerce Minute, your daily dose of e-commerce, tech, and retail news with your hosts, Bart Mraz and John Suter. The E-Commerce Minute is a production of Sumo Heavy, a digital commerce consulting firm in Brooklyn, New York, and Philadelphia. Find us on the web at sumoheavy.com. This episode of the E-Commerce Minute is brought to you by Send Pro Online from Pitney Bowes. With Send Pro Online from Pitney Bowes, it's just click, send, and save for as low as $4.99 a month. Send envelopes, flats, and packages right from your desk, and you're back in business in no time. And for being a loyal E-Commerce Minute listener, you'll receive a free 30-day trial to get started and a free 10-pound scale to ensure that you'll never overpay. Save time and money on mailing and shipping with Send Pro Online. Starting at $4.99 a month, you can qualify for special USPS rates for letters and priority mail shipping. Calculate exact postage online, and print labels right from your PC. So go to pb.com/minute to access this special offer for a free 30-day trial plus a free 10-pound scale to get started. That's pb.com/minute. Experience shipping made simple with a free trial of Send Pro Online from Pitney Bowes. It's E-Commerce Minute episode 562.
In today's episode, Amazon orders 100,000 Rivian electric trucks as part of their carbon-neutral 2040 plan.
Rivian is an automotive technology startup based in Plymouth, Michigan, that is developing a line of electric pickup trucks and SUVs. One of the key strategies is designing a skateboard platform that can be used as the foundation for a variety of light and commercial electric vehicles that vary by body format. Rivian has been busy working on their technology for these sustainable vehicles, and Amazon wants in. Amazon is stepping up its efforts to reduce its climate impact by ordering 100,000 electric delivery trucks from Rivian as part of this commitment. Amazon's new purchase comes as part of the efforts to convey its delivery fleet to 100% renewable energy by 2030. The e-commerce giant already runs 40% of its fleet on renewable energy. Amazon's overarching efforts to make the company carbon neutral are bundled under the plan the company is calling the Climate Pledge. In addition to efforts like the Rivian order for emission-free vehicles, Amazon will also be seeking to reduce its footprint through other means, including solar energy and carbon offsets. Rivian is a relatively new name in the electric vehicle industry, and they only debuted their R1T pickup and R1S SUV at the end of November 2018. Rivian claims that its vehicles, which will start around $70,000, will be able to travel up to 400 miles on a single charge, hit 60 miles an hour under 3 seconds, and eventually be able to drive themselves in some capacity. According to TechCrunch, Rivian noted that this was the largest order to date of any electric delivery vehicles and that they'd begin actually deploying for Amazon starting in 2021. Amazon also led a $700 million investment round in Rivian this past February. After unveiling their new electric vehicles, Jeff Bezos reached out to Rivian CEO RJ Scaringe to express interest in an investment. The goal here is to deploy all the vehicles by 2024, but they'll have prototypes on the road as early as next year. It's pretty cool. These are cool vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
I like the little little delivery truck. He's got like cute little eyes. He looks like
Yeah, that's what he has a face.
It looks like he was speaking like a British accent. You're like, hello, your package is here.
He's friendly.
Oh, hello. So friendly. It's a very friendly vehicle.
Kind eyes.
He's got kind eyes. So if you follow the electric vehicle business, which I'm slightly interested in, this was kind of a big buzz when Rivian came out. A lot of these electric vehicle startups have faltered either due to battery issues or just plain funding. Tesla obviously is the one that everybody knows, but companies like Rivian and others are struggling to hit market saturation, while the bigs like General Motors are trying their best to make carbon engines obsolete, but there seems to be a lot of pushback either with the government or through consumer sentiment. So it's still a bit of an uphill battle, but then you look to Europe and they're probably going to be all electric cars within 10 years. So
Didn't Tesla like just recently get in trouble for something too?
They're
Having to
always
do
in
with
trouble.
They
that?
get in trouble
True.
every week.
That's
Tesla's
true.
in trouble every week.
These are
It's like,
facts.
I think Elon Musk just goes with the better to do and then ask forgiveness later.
Literally.
He's too busy launching rockets and building holes in the ground and running electric cars and doing all
hanging
that
out
and
with
smoking pot with Joe Rogan. So, I give him a pass. He is Batman after all.
being in random movies.
Being in random movies.
Get that right. He's Iron Man. Get that right, sir.
Iron Man, right. Sorry, I forgot.
Forgive us.
I knew it sounded right when it came out of my mouth. Like everything else.
True.
Oh boy.
True.
So Rivian's been around since 2009. They've raised close to 1.9 billion from investors, including that 700 mil from Mr. Bezos. What they're trying to do is do the first mass market electric pickup, which I think is smart because if you look at the pickup market, there's a big percentage of it. There's just guys that like to drive around with a pickup, even though they never put anything in the back. But there is the service part of it, and what's been proven is electric cars are, in the long run, cheaper to run. I mean, that's why Amazon is buying. Amazon, you may think they're being altruistic, but it's just cheaper to run electric vehicles as a fleet. And now the charging network is pretty much, I don't think you don't have that charging anxiety like you used to. And I think if you have a fleet of them, then they're certainly going to have charging areas deployed to be able to service these things. So I think it makes sense in that respect. But for Rivian to go after the mass market pickup truck is neat because these cars are really cool looking to boot.
I think it's funny because like when you think of people who drive pickup trucks, at least like where I come from, I feel like people who are driving pickup trucks aren't really the most
smart.
The biggest believers in climate change and sustainability.
We can get the whole conversation. There's the segment of guys who are climate change deniers. There's a thing called rolling coal. Have you heard of this?
No.
Basically, they take their pickup trucks and instead of making them more fuel efficient, they make them less fuel efficient, and they put big tailpipes on the back that spew this lots of black smoke. And what they like to do is come up to like Priuses at traffic lights and go and just cover them.
For why?
It's called rolling coal. I have no idea why. Like, why would you want to do that?
Like, do you want your kids to be obliterated in a fiery mass, or your kids' kids? Like, is that what you want?
Probably.
Yeah, honestly.
To show how strong you are. I guess it's. Listen, right. I don't know. I don't understand.
So maybe we just need to replace every pickup truck in the world with these electric pickup trucks, so they have no choice but to be environmentally friendly.
I mean, not my lifetime, but it'll happen eventually.
Right.
It'll happen eventually. All right. Who wants to read the ad?
That'd be Brittany.
Yeah.
Brittany, would you like to tell us about today's sponsor? She would.
Shipping and mailing from your desk has never been simpler than with SendPro Online from Pitney Bowes. With SendPro Online from Pitney Bowes, it's just click, send, and save for as low as $4.99 a month. Send envelopes, flats, and packages right from your desk, and you're back to business in no time. And for being a loyal e-commerce minute listener, you'll receive a free 30-day trial to get started and a free 10-pound scale to ensure that you never overpay. So save time and money on mailing and shipping with SendPro Online. Starting at $4.99 a month, you can also qualify for special USPS rates for letters and priority mail shipping, calculate exact postage online, and print labels and stamps right from your PC. So go to pb.com/minute to access this special offer for a free 30-day trial plus a free 10-pound scale to get started. That's pb.com/minute. Experience shipping made simple with a free trial of SendPro Online from Pitney Bowes.
So there's one interesting little tidbit in here. Rivian plans to offer subscriptions for its upcoming electric vehicles, which I think in certain instances can be a great business model. I'm just wondering how they do that without a dealer network. So it seems that they would have to rely on third-party partners to help them. But who would that third-party partner be? So if you go and buy a Rivian, who knows where you can buy a Rivian right now? Do you order it online? I mean, where do you get one?
At Best Buy.
They don't have a dealer network. So it'd be interesting to see how they would execute that.
I agree.
Where would you do that? I mean, so Ford did make an investment in there. So maybe Ford would be willing to, outsource some of their service and showroom floors to accommodate these vehicles. Who knows? It remains to be seen. We'll do a quick stat time. people do like electric vehicles. U.S. electric vehicle sales increased by how much you think, guys?
Like 75%.
81% in 2018. That's according to Green Tech Media. That's big. That's big.
Mhm.
But you have to think the year before it was probably like 10 or 20. So it's to increase that just means that there's some sort of adoption. It doesn't mean that everyone has an electric vehicle. So it's maybe a little bit misleading of a stat.
Mhm.
And if delivered in 2024, the Amazon order alone will give Rivian a 1.7% market share among passenger EVs. So this is a great deal for Rivian because it gives them a real leg up and brand exposure, even if it's just, through Amazon trucks, but still they're suddenly now they suddenly now have a market share in electric vehicles in North America, which is pretty cool.
Mhm. It's a good place to be.
BNEF's Electric Vehicle Outlook 2019 shows electrics taking up 50% of the global passenger car sales by 2040, slightly higher than it forecast a year ago. I wonder what the stats in Europe are. I bet you they are much, much higher. And BNEF expects EV passenger sales to rise from 2 million worldwide in 2018 to 28 million in 2030 and 56 million by 2040. That is by Captain Obvious at BNEF.
Man, you got that guy, Captain Obvious.
He's a great writer. He writes all my favorite articles. He writes all my good stats. And finally, BNEF now estimates that EVs will add 6.8% to global electricity consumption by 2040. Now, if that electricity is not generated by coal, then I'm not mad.
Yeah,
correct.
true.
All right, guys, you got anything else?
Nope.
All right, that's your e-commerce minute for today. We'll see you on the internet tomorrow.
Rivian.
That's it for today's show. If you like the show, do us a favor and subscribe or leave us a review on iTunes. And don't forget, you can now listen to the e-commerce minute on your Amazon device. Just add e-commerce minute to your flash briefing. And finally, if you have a comment or suggestion or just want to say hi, find us on social media at Sumo Heavy.